Femi Falana, the legal representative of Omoyele Sowore, replies the federal government. Falana replies the federal government. He said the federal government should stop subjecting Omoyele Sowore to media trial. And he decided to list all the lies that DSS have been peddling. When Mr. Omoyele Sowore was arrested on August 2nd, 2019, and I like to use the word abducted, the State Security Service SSS accused him of engaging in terrorist activities. On the basis of the allegation, the SSS obtained an order from the Honorable Justice Taiwo of the Federal High Court to detain Sowore for 45 days in order to investigate his alleged terrorist activities. But at the end of the investigation, he was not linked with terrorism in any material particular. Hence, he was not charged with any offense under the Terrorism Prevention Act 2011 as amended. The SSS also claimed in a sworn affidavit that Sowore had traveled to Dubai to collect millions of dollars to overthrow Buhari's administration. But when the SSS later found that Sowore has never ever traveled to Dubai or any part of the United Arab Emirates, the monstrous allegation was jettisoned. Even though the allegations of terrorism and treasonable felony against Sowore had collapsed like a pack of cards, the Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Abubakar Malami, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, engaged in a face-saving measure by charging him and Olawale Bakare with treasonable felony for planning to organize public protest against the Buhari'S administration. Not sure that the charge of treasonable felony would succeed in the court, the Attorney General of the Federation proceeded to charge Sowore with cyber stalking for allegedly insulting President Muhammadu Buhari in a television interview, and they also slammed in with money laundering. Meanwhile, the organizers of the public protests, which were held in Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, Cross River and Osun states, were charged with unlawful assembly. The case filed in Ogun State has been dismissed, while the defendants had been discharged following the no case submission of the defense counsel, Mr. Effiong Ineibe. The defendants in the other cases have been granted bail pending trial by the various magistrate courts. Having met the bail conditions, they have regained their freedom. But the order of Justice Taiwo and Justice Ojukwu for the release of Sowore and Olawale Bakare was ignored with impunity by the SSS. Although the SSS complied with the court order for the release of Sowore and Bakare within 24 hours ultimatum, its operatives turned around to manhandle Sowore in the court and later rearrested him without any warrant of arrest. However, because of the gravity of the charge pending at the Federal High Court, the presiding judge, Honorable Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu, had ordered the prosecutor to make available to the defendants the statement of all prosecution witnesses, while the case was fixed for definite hearing on the 5th-6th December 2019. But on account of the refusal of the SSS to comply with the order of Justice Ojukwu for the release of Sowore and Bakare on bail, the defendants were unable to prepare their case. As the SSS refused to comply with the order of court to produce the statements of the prosecution witnesses, the case has been further adjourned to February 2020 at the instance of the prosecution counsel. For wasting the precious time of the trial court, the prosecutor was ordered to pay 100,000 naira each for the cost of disobedience to the defendants in accordance with Section 296 of the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015. The prosecutor has since paid the said cost. It is therefore embarrassing that the federal government, which has found it difficult to prove its case in a competent court of law, has resorted to the media trial of Sowore. Thus, in a press statement held on Sunday, December 8, 2019, a presidential spokesperson, Mr. Gabaru Shehu, claimed that Sowore called for a revolution to overthrow the democratically elected government of Nigeria. In comparing Sowore with Boko Haram sect, the presidency said, Nigeria is already dealing with an insurgency that has left millions of people displaced and desperate in the northeastern part of the country. The Boko Haram militants who are behind the violence also fancy themselves to be fighting for some sort of revolution. The link is a justification for the planned arraignment of Sowore for terrorism. Since it is common knowledge that Sowore and Bakare are not among the well-known merchants of violence and coup plotters that are successfully but illegally removed democratically elected governments in Nigeria, we are not going to join issue with Mr. Gabar Shehu over the highly contemptuous statement credited to him. But as a senior journalist, Mr. Shehu ought to have known that it is highly unprofessional to subject a man who is held incommunicado to scurrilous attacks in the media. We are, however, convinced that Sowore will have a right of reply once the fundamental rights of the people, of the Nigerian people, are restored. Even though the federal government has failed to engage in the diligent prosecution of the serious case, the presidency has resorted to media trial while the charge of treasonable felony is allowed to hang menacingly on the heads of our clients. We are, however, not going to be tempted to join issues with the presidency over a case that is pending before a properly constituted court of law. If the presidency is so sure that our clients committed treasonable felony or any other offense whatsoever, it should keep its powder dry and advise the prosecution to commence the trial without any further delay. This is according to Femi Falana, senior advocate of Nigeria. That is what it is. So guys, you all know what went down at the court. If you've not seen that video, it's a terrible one. I brought you guys a story, and it's very sad. It's a very sad one. It's a very sad one. The government has decided to become authoritarian, dictator and everything, and I am not surprised anyway, as Buhari is a man that does not understand democracy. He will never tolerate democracy. He is only a man that understands authoritarian rule. That is all he's not a leader. So I wouldn't know why a military general that could not present his own level, yet he is able to sit at the helms of affair, is able to sit at that seat in Nigeria. That shows that we are going nowhere in that country. We are moving nowhere. If we could allow someone that has no level to become president, at least ordinary level, I'm not talking about you having a degree now, I'm talking about O level, and of course you've shown certain traits of integrity, then you have other professionals around you. But unfortunately that is not the case. That is why he cannot even represent Nigeria out there. He cannot understand the question, not to talk of answering it. So now the only thing he can do is to muscle on people like Sowore. I brought you guys a story where they were trying to bribe even the revolutionary protest. The people that came there, they gave them ₦1 million. That is DSS in a Senate climb. The person that issued that money, that gave them that money, should be jailed, just like how they give people money during election. So they look at them. We have used hunger as a weapon to bring down, to subjugate these people, to make them subservient. So what else? Let's give them ₦1 million out of the billions that we have stolen and we are stealing. What a shame. Many of them, in fact all of them, have their children abroad, yet they've brought down the youth of this country to their knees. It's time for us to rise up like a phoenix and take back what belongs to us. So that is what it is for now. If you're not a member of this channel, simply tap on the subscription button. It's very, very important. Let us grow this channel together. And the red notification icon, please do tap on it, so you'll be notified whenever videos such as this are uploaded. Thanks for stopping by.